DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. The reason I was able to always improve and get better in my game, like I got better I started playing at 14. By the time I was 16, I was a go-to player on the local rec league team. By the time I was 17, 18, I was playing on the main court at my playground, doing something, made my high school varsity, ain't do nothing, sat on the bench. Then walked on, made the team in college, and was the most talented player on the team. I didn't have the best performance, but I was the most talented player. Everybody could see that I had a game. By age 19, I was recruited to play at another college. By age 21, we was running the gym at my college and pick up every day. And we was going playing pickup at every other college in the neighborhood, in the area, and doing our thing, holding our own and making a name for ourselves, playing on those courts. By age 23, I was signed to play professional ball. Did that for the next 10 years. And the reason that I was able to continue to get better, every single year I was getting better. I was always adding new skills to my game. There was never a point where I fell off. And I knew a whole lot of players who fell off. They would be good. I knew players who was the shit, like the best player around at 16. By 20, they was trash. Or players who had certain skills and they could do certain things, but then I eventually caught up to those things they could do. They never got better. Like a lot of players that I know didn't get any better after the age of like 21, 22, for those who went to college, even those who didn't. Like by that age, you're still young. Your body doesn't have any harsh reactions to your bad habits, like not stretching, not eating right, not sleeping, drinking, all that stuff. So by early 20s, age 24, maybe 25, we'll say, a lot of players that I knew never got any better. They didn't improve anymore. Their bodies didn't get any better. They fell out of shape. They lost a lot of their game. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, most of the players that I know, like 97% of the players that I've known at any point before age 25, they didn't get any better after age 25. They just stopped improving. And for me, the reason I was able to continue to improve, I mean, of course I had a career going, but I kept improving because that was the only thing I was focused on. I'm talking about, and I want to go backwards here because it's really the foundation of how you start. It's gonna start showing itself over the years as you continue to go. For me, since I started as a player who was like behind the 8 ball, was not looked at as someone who was even a prospect, even in my neighborhood. I mean, you think 35 kids my age in the neighborhood, I wasn't even one of the best players there in 35, let alone the whole country where you got maybe 300,000 kids my age trying to play basketball, trying to show themselves. When I first started playing, the only thing I was focused on was I would go to school and then I'd be on that court working on my game. That's it. I got my first job. My parents made me get a job when I was 15. And I had a job all the time, from all the way through high school. Even in college, they had this thing called work study. So I had a work study job where it was like a little office clerical job that I worked. Out of college, had a job. And then I started playing pro. Well, only thing that I did in my school years, so for you young players, you teenagers and college kids, in college, I did the social thing, but other than that, it was go to school, get on that court. Go to school, I'm at the park, on the outdoor courts, working on my game, the indoor courts, working on my game whenever I could, and if I couldn't, then I just wasn't because I didn't have an opportunity, but I was either at my little job, my little part-time job, at school, or I was on that court working on my game. Those were my only focuses. That's it. Anything that I did socially, like partying and talking to girls and all that stuff, that had to fit around what I was doing on that court. I never put any of that social stuff in front of what I was doing on the court, ever. And I never let it get in the way of what I was doing on that court, ever. So for you players out there, and I don't know what it would have been like for me if we had social media back then, because that probably would have led to more social stuff, because I would have met more people, especially on a college campus. And I mean, this stuff just takes time away. I mean, what you doing right now? You watching a YouTube video. We didn't have these. So we had TV. Where y'all got phones, we had TV. But it was just on that court. That's all I did. I wasn't doing nothing else. And anybody from my neighborhood, when I was growing up, who even knew my face, they didn't even have to know my name. But if you knew my face, you only seen me in one place. You seen me on that court, practicing or playing pickup working on my game, trying to get better. That's the only things I was doing. You ain't seen me standing on no corners. You ain't never seen me at the mall. You never seen me at the movies. You never even seen me running around chasing after no girls even. When I was growing up, you ain't seen me doing none of that. All you saw me, the only place you ever saw me was if you lived on my block, you might have seen me coming and going from school. If you seen me coming and going in the house. And me and a few of my dudes, we would stand out on the corner of our block every now and then. But I only stood out there after we was done hooping for the day. After I was done hooping or after I got off my job or something like that, there was never anything that got in front of me working on my game and getting better. Not social media or socializing back then. It was just my job, school, play ball. Now this seems like a very trite piece of information or a trite idea, but some of you players you want to get better and you want to do your thing, you need to really look at what you're doing. Really look at where you're spending your time, where you're making your investments. And I talked on my podcast. There's an episode where I did the 5 forms of investment: time, money, attention, energy, focus. Where are you investing? Where are you investing your attention, your focus, your energy, and your time? Now, maybe money, you ain't got much. I ain't had that much money. I didn't spend no money. I made my game it didn't cost me no money to get good at basketball. No money. I ain't had nothing to spend on basketball. No trainer, no gym membership. It was the outdoor courts, and I'm from Philly. I live in Miami now where it's warm all year. I'm from Philly where half the year you can't even really hoop outside. Not like that. I mean, I forced my way out there sometimes when it was a little bit too cold, my hands be numb, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And if I didn't have access to that court because it was too cold outside, then I just didn't get on the court. Players ask me, well, how you work on your game in the winter? I didn't. I had gym class in high school. That would be my little chance to work on my game. But even then, we was playing like games, like 3-on-3, and we call it rough house where I'm from in Philly. But that's it. I just did what I had to do. I worked with what I had. And that's another thing players will say now, because since we have social media and you can see what everybody else got and you can see what everybody else is doing. So you can see somebody like myself, a player who has a career in a gym, or you can see Steph Curry or LeBron working with a trainer, or you hear or you see these articles, or you watch somebody's YouTube video, somebody you don't even know. They got a trainer, they got an indoor gym, people posting videos of their workouts, and they in the weight room, and they got a foam roller, they getting in the jacuzzi. You see me going to the pool and stuff. You follow my Instagram and all that. And then you're looking at it and you're like, damn, I don't have none of that. Like me, 16-year-old me, I would have been looking at social media like, damn, I ain't got no gym membership. I don't have a trainer. I don't even own I can get a foam roller. That's pretty cheap. I could probably get one of those. I can stretch. I can do that. I don't have an indoor gym to work out at. I'm not on a team. I don't have a trainer. I don't have nobody else is real serious like me, so I ain't got no workout partner. And all the other stuff you see people having, I don't have none of that. I have like one pair of hoop shoes. I had 2 pairs of sneakers. I don't know if some of y'all can relate. I had a pair that I wore to school, which was like the good shoes, and then I had my play shoes. It was like the joints that I would play ball in, or if I wanted to play, we play football in the street, do that. If I wanted to run around the block and jog, run the exact same pair of shoes. The play sneakers and the good sneakers. That's what we called them back then. Again, I don't know if any of y'all is living like that now, or any of y'all did. Back then, that's what it was. And when the good sneakers kind of got a little bit too dogged, or the play sneakers got so bad there was holes in them, all right, my parents would finally be like, all right, we can throw the play sneakers out because they got holes in them. Okay. Now those good sneakers, those become the play sneakers. Now we're gonna get you a new pair of good sneakers. Make sure you keep the motherfuckers clean because you ain't getting another pair until next year. And that's what it was. And I had to work with what I had. So those of y'all who are looking at what everybody else got, or what even somebody who's your age, they could be your age or younger than you, and they have resources that you don't have, so what? Like, looking at their resources is not going to make your resources appear like a fucking fairy godmother. You just got to work with what you got. If you ain't got what somebody else got, that's not an excuse for you to not do what you want to do. There's not an excuse for you to not show up and work on your game and get better and reach whatever goals it is that you have for yourself. They're your goals, and there's a reason you have them. Like, you wouldn't have a goal if you weren't capable of achieving it. It has nothing to do with you measuring what somebody else has against what you have or what you don't have. Your focus needs to be on you, how you're going to get better, and how you're going to utilize the resources that you do have. Even if it's a little bit of resources compared to this person, that person, that person. Even if all you got is a little bit, do what you got to do. Because at the end of everything, and this is something that I've said many times on the Work on Your Game podcast, at the end of everything, nobody's going to ask what you could have did if you had more resources, because ain't nobody going to give a fuck. The only thing people gonna remember about you in the end is what you achieved, what you accomplished, and that's it. Nobody's gonna ask what you could have accomplished or what might have you accomplished if somebody had given you a trainer, or you had more pairs of sneakers, or you had a membership to fucking LA Fitness, or any of that other whatever that you think you need, quote unquote need, in order to be successful. The only thing you need to be successful, and if you take one thing from this video, is this: the only thing you need to be successful is your desire to be successful. Because if you didn't have the potential to reach success, you would not have the desire to reach success. That's the only reason anybody has a desire for anything, is because we are capable of achieving it. You cannot imagine anything. You cannot manifest anything in your mind that you are incapable of. If you could think about it, that means you're capable of actually doing it. Now, will you actually do it? That's a completely different question, because our minds sometimes work so hard against us that we don't even realize it. And we talk about, the haters on the outside and negativity on the outside. We fuck ourselves up more with our own mind than what anybody else out there could do to us. So what you need to do is close ranks, but definitely close ranks. Focus on where you're at, what you have, what you're doing, what you need to accomplish, to the exclusion of what anybody else is doing, because it really doesn't matter. All you got is what you got. And what you do is what you do. And the only thing anybody gonna remember about you is what you achieve. And if you achieve nothing, then what you think people gonna remember? And then the game group, the link is down there. Just go to the game group membership. You wanna get more from me, you wanna be coached by me directly. The closest thing to being directly coached by me without that price tag is the game group membership. Go down there and find out about it. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Nobody out there needs more information. What you need these days is a strategy, frameworks, processes, how to actually take all the information that's out there, all the knowledge and content that's out there, make sense of it, and actually produce a result, a tangible result. That's why I created the Game Group. It is my membership site where you will get tangible results for specific areas: business, personal development, basketball skill, and professional basketball. Choose your area of focus, and we have targeted, specified outcomes every single month, along with live trainings, the ability to contact me, have your work critiqued by me, and a whole lot of other stuff. The link and all the information is down in the description at DreAllDay.com/membership. Get in the game group if you're ready to get some results and not just a whole bunch of information. Let's do it. Work on your game.